Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Golgari Sacrifice on the play for game one. Bit of a slow hand, but it is workable. We can go Dredger's Insight, go digging into Origins on 3, which then allows us to set up on 4. Draw. Verge. Elf. Well, we'll stick with going of Insight. What do we find off of Insight? We find the Zealot. We'll take the Zealot. And we'll pass in full. Next turn we'll play Landwar Elf Esper Origins, most likely. So now we just need to find Beifong and a Bloodghast. So this looks like Stormish? Prowess-ish? Other Dredger's Insight. Do I want to play Insight or Origins? Insight digs us deeper. Yeah, let's go Insight first. Though I actually should be smart here, play Verge. Yes. There's Beifong. So I'll grab Beifong, but now we need Bloodghast. We'll play the Elf and pass. And pass. Well, 5 mana next turn. We can Esper Origins and Zealot. Do we want to play the Zealot ahead of the combo? Probably not. Beifong would probably be safer in the grand scheme of things. Is this a torch? It is a torch. Opt. So it looks like Mai will be good here in game 2-3. Lots of non-creature spells. To 20. We'll draw. Let's start with Esper Origins. Surveil 2, gain 2. Yard and yard. I'll play Zealot then and pass. Another torch. It is a lava bending lesson. Okay. And pass. Talent. Yeah, so far they've cast all non-creatures. So yeah, Mai seems pretty good. Boomerang Basics on Talent. Boomerang Basics really good. Now they can replay Talent. Well, they choose not to. Interesting. We'll draw. I'll cast Esper Origin to start. There's another Beifong. Verge. Do we want another Beifong, though? As of this moment, kind of no. So Beifong to yard. Overlord the Belmerk is nice. Play Multiversal Passage on Swamp tapped. And pass. Combustion Technique. 2 plus the number of lessons. Okay, so is it lessons? I see. Yeah, Accumulated Wisdom. pretty good. Or accumulate wisdom, rather. Storm Chaser's talent, that's 12. Gran. 12 damage down to 6. I'll draw. Ice Till. Let's start by impending the Overlord. Badgermal Cub, Beifong, Zealot. If we cast the Badgermal Cub, we'd have only 3 mana left over, so we can't really go Badgermal. I'll take the Collar then, the instance we somehow survive a turn. I was really hoping to see some Bloodghast. And there's Beifong. We can... Oh, it'll quench ya. Counter target spell unless opponent pays 2, which means that's lethal on board. Yep, we'll concede. Okay. So, my Scornful Striker seems good here. Is Ghost Vacuum good here? Getting rid of Lessons in Yard, maybe? I don't know if that is great, though. Again, I feel like Insidious Fungus should just become main deck. I think it is main deckable. Stab could be relevant before the hero becomes too big. Maybe go stabbing. Let's run it back like this. I guess I doesn't get rid of Gran, though, for what it's worth. So maybe Bitter Triumph is the better shout. Yeah, Torch the Tower seems to be pretty much everywhere, which does give me a little bit of pause. Given its ability to just exile most of our important cards, whether it be Bloodghast or Zealot. Because for the most part, it seems like 2-3 toughness is the threshold for removal, which makes me think Stab isn't that great. There's not a lot of good black removal. Like, Bitter Triumph definitely good. Like, not like we have a Fatal Push in Standard, unfortunately. Yeah, so it looks like red decks might be very well positioned in the meta right now. Badgermal Cub, Sephiroth, Dredger's Insight, Gulch, Lanralph. Yep, we'll keep this. So this allows us to go into Cub, Dredger's Insight. Verge, Elf, pass. Pass. Island, passing, draw. Multiversal Passage for a forest. Shocked. Cast Cub. Cub triggered target Verge. search for Dredger's Insight. We could also go Esper Origins, but I think Insight probably makes more sense here right now. Annul. Huh. Alright, was not expecting that. Yeah, we'll pass. And pass. I guess that's pretty good into something like Overlord of the Bailmerk. So, makes a bit of sense, I suppose. Opt. Seems like maybe a slow start from opponent. Gran? Or is Gran 2? Ghost Vacuum, okay. Draw Cottage. So we have access to 4/5 mana. Unfortunately, I can't Esper Origins into the flashback. So I think my best play here is probably Sephiroth. We go Cottage tapped, cast Sephiroth. I'm gonna say no sack here. And then go to combat. Swing for 3. 2, 4, 6 next turn. So we'll be able to Esper Origins into flashback. Currently, as long as Cub sticks on board. And there's a mountain. Blue. Planisphere. Makes a hero. Red for Torch. Firebending, Lessening, Badgermole Cub. Sephiroth will trigger. That means I'm down to 4 mana now. We'll draw. Another Cub. So if I play Cub, I only have 4 mana again. I will cast Cub. Put it on Restless Cottage. Play Festering Gulch, target you. Go to combat. Attack with Sephiroth. I will not sacrifice anything right now, and will pass. Opponent's down to 10, which means I believe we might have lethal on board. Yes, we do have lethal on board as it stands then. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. Three cards. Soul Guide is fine. A bit redundant now with the Ghost Vacuum, so a bit of a moot point. It's a null. I don't imagine they attack here. As like I said, we have lethal on board. Combustion Technique on Sephiroth. Sephiroth is down, but that's fine. Another Festering Gulch. We will cast Esper Origins. Stab Elf. Neither of these are that great for us right now. I'll say Yard, and cast. Well, we can't put Esper Origins in the hand. We want to have it in hand. So I'm gonna say top draw. Yield. I will play the Festering Gulch. Deal you damage. We can't attack right now. That's fine, though. They have one card in hand. They'll draw a card. 2 cards in hand. They should have Ghost Vacuumed up my elf, probably. Not that it's really that relevant, I don't think. Passage Mountain. Untapped? Untapped a 7. I don't imagine they attack. Red. Do you hit the Badgermal Cub again? That's fine. Cub down. Gain 2. Cast Esper Origins. I'll say yard. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. Cast. I guess top, draw. Forest. Cub, forest, and pass. I mean, next turn we're going to have overrun. Ghost Vacuum. And no attacks. Draw a card, discard a card. Discards a canal. We'll pass in full. What the fresh hell is this? Firebending Lesson, kicked, hits Esper Origin. Okay. I think I still have lethal on board, though. Cub adds 2. We'll play the Cub. Earthbend on Gulch. And from here, what we can do, 1, 2, 3, 4. Attack with everything. This represents 5. Yes. Yep, let's go to combat. So attack with everything but the elf. Because we need 1, 2, 3, 4 to manland the cottage. Cottage will eat a lesson. Go to blocks. They block Esper Origin. We'll activate the cottage. Was I 1 over? I guess so. Oh, because I have double Cub. No duh. To damage. And that's lethal. Cool. Alright. The fungus is correct. Yeah, because we definitely need to pivot more away from combo, more to mid-range. I wonder if Bitter Triumph would also be good here. I guess the question is, what else do we trim on? I don't know if Stab is good enough here. Maybe Bitter Triumph is better. Maybe both is fine. And we trim down, like, Collar Bloodghast. Something like that. Yeah, sideboarding standard still something I need to dive into more. There's Cub. We're on the draw, though, so this feels a bit slow. Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this one. There's fungus. Fungus is nice. Treasure's Insight. Let us dig. We have Bayfong, so we have 1/3 of the combo. We'll keep this. Put passage to yard or to bottom and pass. Storm Chaser. And draw. Verge. I suppose I will go Blooming Marsh, Fungus. See if I can get rid of the talent, I suppose. Alright, there's Furnace. Gets rid of the Fungus. Down to 18. Draw. Dredger's Insight or Overlord? We'll start with Dredger's Insight. And we find the Zealot. So now all we're missing is Bloodghast. We'll pass in full. So next turn we'll impend Overlord, though we do have to worry about a null as we saw earlier, which is a bit frustrating. Once they tap down, Saka, Boomerang, discard up to 2, then draw that many. It's not bad. Whenever you cast an artifact or a lesson spell, put a counter on Saka. Huh. Accumulate Wisdom, opt. Did they miss their land drop? Does look to be the case. Draw. Setharoth. Okay, again, all we're missing here is Bloodghast. Speaking of, there is Bloodghast. We'll grab the Fungus, put that to hand. We'll play a Forest, trigger the Bloodghast. Cast the Fungus. And pass. And pass. So next turn we can cast Bayfong. Fungus down, that's fine. Prowess triggers. Sokka triggers. Fungus down. We can't attack with blood, or can't block with Bloodghast. We can attack, I suppose. We'll take 5 down to 15. 2 in hand will draw. A second Bayfong. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much solidifies it. We'll go to combat first. Attack with Bloodghast. Multiversal Passage for a Forest. Actually, a Swamp's probably better here. I will Shock. And cast Bayfong. And pass. Overlord triggers. And pass. I mean, if they don't interact with our board, we win. Talent, that's fine. Boomerang basics on Bayfong, less fine. That's 9 damage now to 4. Yee. We'll draw. That's a Forest. Okay. So we're going to start by attacking with Bloodghast. They won't block, of course. 2 and 3. Sephiroth. Sacrifice Bloodcast. Bitter Triumph. We can get rid of Sokka. Play a land. Trigger Bloodcast. Trigger Dredger's Insight. Gain a life. I think I play the Caller here. And pass. So we are up to theoretical 7. And we have 2 blockers if needed. There's accumulate wisdom, yield all. Yeah, accumulate wisdom's pretty freaking good, isn't it? Land. Attack all. So we block with Sephiroth. Block of Sephiroth. And then before damage, sacrifice Bloodghast. Yield all. Sephiroth. To Yard. Sacrifice Sephiroth. Forest on top. Because we need to get Bloodghast back on board with the Beifong. Down to 1. Draw. Play a forest. I guess actually, should we play Beifong first? Let's play Beifong. Actually, Quench. No, they shouldn't have enough for Quench. We'll play the forest first. Bloodghast. Beifong. So sacrifice Bloodghast. Trigger Beifong. We don't have Festering Gulch is the only thing. Always yield. There's Festering Gulch on top. So then we'll sacrifice, always yield, Bloodghast, trigger Dredger's Insight. I'm asking opponent if we're good to say I have 1,000,000 life. That would be nice. But looks like opponent is not going to be gracious, unfortunately. Probably should have held up Bitter Triumph. I did make that mistake. So I guess how many times do I do this? Okay, opponent says, yep, GG's, rip. Cool. So I am going to say that we're at 1,000,000 life. I have... Okay, opponent scoops it up. I was going to say I have Gulch on top. We should be GG's. Unless you can deal with the combo and also deal with 1,000,000 life. Yada, yada, yada. Cool. I appreciate you, opponents. Thank you for not forcing me to go through that many clicks to try and get back up to like 20 just to feel safe. So I appreciate that. All right, well, we'll be back for match number 2. All right, we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. Really don't want to see that many Bloodghast in hand. But just Sephiroth. We'll pass. To the Swamp. To the Cecil. So this is Demir. Pretty sure. Dredger's Insight's nice. So in that case, we'll play the Elf and pass. Next turn, play Insight Gulch, probably. Tragic Trajectory. Oofda. Well, in that case, we'll play Forest Insight. Looking for a Bloodghast or Beifong. I'd actually like Bloodghast. I like to see both. Let's be transparent here. That way I can Sephiroth Badgermal Cub. Okay. Probably not this turn, play next turn. Treasure's Insight. There's the Bloodghast we're looking for. So in that case, we want an untapped land. We'll grab the Blooming Marsh. So that way, next turn, we can play Blooming Marsh, trigger Bloodghast, play Sephiroth, sack Bloodghast, draw a card. Seems pretty good. Are we going to see a Kaito here? Attack. So I wonder if opponent doesn't know that they could have connected with the Cecil and after damage have ninjutsu'd, right? Or is that only when there's a trigger on the stack? I actually don't really play much with ninjutsu, so I don't know off the top of my head. All right, so draw. Second Bloodghast, not really what we need right now. We'll play the Blooming Marsh, trigger Bloodghast, always yes, always yield. That will trigger Dredger's Insight. We will then cast Sephiroth, always yield, sacrificing the Bloodghast, always yield. There's Beifong. Okay, we have the combo now. So we'll pass. So next turn we can play Badgermal Zealot. Shoot the Sheriff is fine. Kaito activates. It's a pretty good value engine. Alright, we'll draw Esper Origins. Alright, let's start with Badgermal Cub, I suppose. Yes, let's start with Badgermal Cub. Essence Scatter. In that case, we'll play the Gulch, trigger Bloodghast, always yield, and pass. I really don't want to play Beifong or Zealot unless I can guarantee the combo. Interesting. Opponent's pretty happy with what they have in hand there if they don't want to surveil. Interesting. Cecil. Okay, we'll draw. Land. Let's start with Esper Origins. See if this resolves. I get the Soul Cauldron, so Gulch to Yard, Cauldron to top. In that case, I'm going to play the Caller. I'm going to sacrifice the Bloodghast, Surveil. There's Tidebinder. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Yep. So in that case, I'll play the land, trigger the blood gas, trigger the insight. We'll pass. I mean, if they attack, we're going to block with a Zealot since we have the Aggie Soul Cauldron on top. Four, Vren. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Well, ain't that a bitch? Yeah, that's actually really unfortunate. Main deck Vren. Yeah. I mean, that kind of just hoses me. Because my idea here... How much damage am I looking at right now? 3... 6, 8... Down to 7? Not down to 8. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. At the beginning of each end step, create X1 on black is the number of creatures that were exiled under your opponent's control this turn. Of each end step. Interesting. It also has Ward 2. Huh. I'll take... Not thrilled by that prospect. Down to 7. But it's down to 14. Kaito Surveil. I'm pretty sure we're just dead here. Combo's offline. And Tishana's Tidebinder was kind of rough. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. There's something interesting here. We can't attack with Bloodghast. So if I play... I guess I could play Esper Origins. Let's start with that. Let's start with Origins. Baelmerk Elf. Would like Baelmerk. Let's go... Top, draw the Elf. Play the Elf. And pass. So now you can tap down Esper Origins, but kills the Kaito, so I don't imagine you do that. Emblem, sure. But attacking here wouldn't be to your advantage. Oh, I see. So it's a 4-4 and a 4-5. Interesting. I mean, I can take... How does this read again? It doesn't deal me damage. So I go to blocks. This has Death Touch. We can block the Tishana. Block the Cecil, or... Do you have Menace? I actually can't tell. It doesn't... When I zoom in, it doesn't tell me. Hold on. Cancel? 3/4 creature hexproof. No Menace. I suppose just block here. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tishana down. We'll take 6 down to 3, which is fine. They'll get a rat. But Color's back on board, so I can get rid of Vren somehow. Which actually I do have a way to do so, theoretically. Down to 3. Cecil. Three, for what? Preacher of the Schism. Okay. We'll make a rat. Oh, the soul stone counts as a rat. For each other rat. Oh, and that stays I forgot that this stays as a creature. I completely missed that. That's right, it's not until end of turn. Wild. Generate 2. Floodpit Drowner says shuffle this creature and target creature with a stun counter on it. Oh, it needs to have a stun counter on it. I thought it just was tapped. Rude. In that case, how do I want to proceed? The Vren is just messing me up hard. Kaito can tap. I mean, I don't think I see a way out of this. We can dig deep at the Overlord, but if a creature an opponent controls would die. So I can still mill. I suppose let's start there. There's Ice Till, there's Badgermole Cub, there's Elf. I suppose we go Ice Till? I can then cast Ice Till. I can play a Forest, which will trigger the Bloodghast. We still can't do much in the way of sacrificing is the problem. So I suppose I'll play Festering Gulch. Target you, mill a card. Play Aggie Soul Cauldron. And I mean, at this point, I suppose I pass. No attacks. We're at 5. No triggers on Vren. Kaito can tap. We can push ourselves up to 6. We only have 3 blockers, though. Yes, that will be stunned. Preacher triggers. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. I can go up to 6. I can block 2. 1, 2, 2, 4, 7. Yeah, we're just dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, unfortunately. We are in fact just dead. As we block Kaito, block Soulstone. And then we take 2, 5, 7 there alone, and we can only go up to 6. Yeah. Yeah, the Vren outright killed me. We'll just concede. Yep. So this is just called the Mirror. The standard deck names are just so effing unimaginative. I'm gonna mid-range, I guess. No, like I just don't want to name it Demir mid-range. Why can't we just be more creative? Kaito? I guess is Kaito like the big bad card here? Demir Kaito? Sure, we'll just call it Kaito.deck. Not much more imaginative, but better than freaking Demir mid-range. Loss. Let's go to sideboard. Bitter Triumph seems relevant. Stab not as much. Well, maybe an early stab onto a Cecil is relevant, as that stops them from ninjutsuing Kaito. I suppose. Spyglass Siren. Yeah, I guess there's just a lot of cheap or low toughness creatures, so maybe Stab is decent here. They also run Stab, Tragic Trajectory, Bitter Triumph, Essence Scatter, Shoot, so a lot of removal. The Vren really turns me off of the combo, unfortunately, so you need to lean closer into mid-range. Which maybe we should have a sideboard plan for. What else do I trim? Maybe an Ice Till? Doesn't look like they really run much in the way of, like, Grave Hate, though the Vren really does stop. Some run Ghost Vacuum, but not many. Alright, let's run it back like this, then. On the play for game 2. Bloodghast, Gulch, Insight, Zealot. I mean, yeah, we're one away from just having the combo. Opponent's mulligan's down to 6. So Gulch 1, Passage 2 into Insight. And pass. And pass. Intimidation Tactics, Duress. Intimidation Tactics. Probably takes the Zealot, I'd imagine. Takes the... Oh, because it exiles it. Right. Another Insight. We'll go for Forest. Yeah. Shock it in for Insight. Yes. There's Bloodghast. We'll grab Verge. We do need a land for next turn. And pass. And pass. So again, we're now just looking for Beifong. Non-land card. Do you pull the Zealot this time? Again, pulls the Esper Origin, really? Non-land card, okay. There's Triumph, so we can always get that back. Let's start with Insight again. Guess we drop mull over another... We do not, but we do find Sephiroth. Do we want Sephiroth or a land? I think I actually do want to... well, that one's kind of interesting. Kind of want Sephiroth. Let's just dig deeper for Beifong. We can sacrifice Bloodghast. Yeah, let's do that. Play Verge. Bloodghast, yes, yield. And pass. And pass. Attacks. Draw. Badgermole Cub. Let's go to combat. Down to 16. Let's attempt to resolve the Sephiroth. Doubtful this result. It really did resolve. I'm surprised. Tishana's Tiebinder? No? Okay. Color me shocked and surprised. Land Bloodghast. Is that a Tishana's? That wouldn't work though. Not the way they wanted to. Oh, Bitter Triumph. That's fine. We got our value, I suppose. We'll pass. And pass. And they'll attack. Draw. Let's go to combat. So in this case, let's start with Badgermole Cub on Gulch. Is Tishana's Tidebinder? Yes, that is fine. Yield all. In that case, Zealot. Sacrifice Bloodghast. Beifong. Land triggers. Pass. So this means we have the combo kill next turn. Stab Zealot. That is unfortunate, so combo kill offline. I will sacrifice the Bloodghast while I have the chance. I think we'll still keep Beifong on top. Spyglass Siren. And we'll just pass in full. Stab. Nope. That is Trajectory. Okay. And this is fine. Because all we can do now is play Ice Till. I'll grab the Forest. Always yes, always yield. Always yield. Always yield. Bit of a whiff there. We do have Bitter Triumph, though. Kind of want to Bitter Triumph the Bat right now. And get back my Esper Origins. And pass. And pass. There's Vren. Alright, well that makes things more complicated, but fine. Unfortunately, we used both our Bitter Triumphs now as well. Draw. I'll cast Esper Origin, Beifong Badgermole. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we go... I really want to go with either. Maybe Badgermole to Yard, keep Beifong on top. Actually, we can go top. Yeah, we'll go top. And then Esper Origin. At this point, we're just kind of trying to go for the overrun plan. Find the Cub. Play a Forest. Mill. Oh, well, we just freaking milled our Beifong, right? Pass. No attacks. And pass. Draw. Passage. Origins. Yeah, it would have been nice to play both. That was my bad. Go Cub. Cub on Gulch. And Beifong. So again, next turn we basically have the equivalent of an overrun. I guess we should play Passage. Swamp. Tapped. Mill. Overlord. Pass. It's kind of hoping to see Bloodghast. Shoot the sheriff? Attack. Two, three, four. What this? Day of the Black Sun. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Mill a card. Makes a ton of rats. Land, mill, treasures in sight, cub. Cub on Gulch, and pass. I mean, I think at this point we more or less just lose to the rats now, don't we? Yeah, Vren's pretty good against us. So you attack with the 4 rats for 20 damage. Well, Beifong's kind of a dead card right now. The thing is, by doing this, we just give them more rats. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. We kill rat, but then we just die to more rats. Take the 20 down to 2. That Day of the Black Sun is pretty good. Draw. Merge doesn't do anything here. Yep, we'll just scoop it up. Unfortunate. Alrighty, well, we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, back for match 3 on the draw for game 1 against Damien Del Nero. Bit of a surprise to see, but we're getting close to the combo. Wait, hold on. Hold on. This looks familiar. What? I think we might be playing the same deck. Badgermal Cub? Yeah. Well, oh wait, what is that? What is this? What did he just play? Huh? What? Petty Revenge? What is Petty Revenge? Why is it not in the graveyard? Scryfall? What is this? Petty Revenge? Oh, it's the Omen. Oh, okay. So maybe it's not the same deck. That's actually really bad for me, though. I need to draw land now. Hey, never punished. Probably go Cub. And pass. And pass. So is this the same deck? I wonder. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Oh, what's this? Maverick Ouroboroid. So, like, maybe Sultai aggro? Not Sultai, but Golgari aggro? Interesting. There's Ouroboroid. So now I think it's a counter. And it's going to get big pretty quick. Draw. Cottage. So we can play another Badgermal Cub. And we'll generate 3 mana. Kind of awkward. If only you were untapped. Because yeah, we can generate 3 mana, but then what do we do with it? We actually can't play anything in addition. Is the only downside. Oh. So I guess we could go Cub Molt Tender. Yeah, I guess Cub Molt Tender is probably our best bet. Okay, so let's do that. Let's play Restless Cottage tapped. Cub. Earthbend Cottage. Tender. And pass. So we have all the mana in the world next turn. We just need to find our pieces. Overlord will help, but they're going to be applying a lot of pressure to board. Insidious Roots. Oh, interesting. Do they also have the Bayfong combo, or... Maverick. Put a counter on the Ouroboroid. So everything now grows by 4? Yee. Huh. How much damage is this? 6, 13, 21? Oh, damn. Block of Molt Tender, right? So we'll have 3, 6, 7 versus 2, 4, 6, 7. I guess it's the same, whether we block with a Cub or not. Block the Ouroboroid. Do you have Trample? You do not. I'm in danger. Interesting. Down to 4, we'll draw. Dredger's Insight. Black double green. Use green, green. Insight? I don't know if I have a way out. We'll see. Yes. We'll grab a land. Grab a land. Do we Overlord first? Impend. Well, there's Bayfong, but I think we're going to be short. Yeah, we're going to be short. That's 4. And we need 6. Funny enough, the Molt Tender is still on board. We fine. Damn. So I can play the Verge. Trigger the Bloodghast. Always yes, always yield. Gain some life. The thing is, I'm pretty sure I need to block every single one of their creatures or I die. So yeah, now we can play Bayfong. But that's not going to be enough. We can play Zealot, and that's equally not going to be enough. Because we'll block 1, 2, 3. We'll just say 1, 2, 3, then we just die. So better for us just to concede. Because we generate 3, 4. So enough for Bayfong, but not for Zealot. If we had the Molt Tender, we could win. Rip. Okay. So this is an Ouroboroid deck. Ouroboroid. Lost for 1. So instead of Simic Ouroboroid, it's Golgari Ouroboroid. So seems like Bitter Triumph Intimidation Tactics makes sense. Fungus maybe. Trim down on Elf, Molt Tender. Maybe Ice Till. And maybe go down just to 2 Intimidation Tactics. Let's do that. I also wonder if maybe Ghost Vacuum would be right, but I'm not sure if that's correct. On the play for game 2. Double Festering Gulch, no other lands is kind of rough, but the hand's nice otherwise. It's slow. The question is it too slow? If we draw into an untapped land, it's pretty decent. We'll pass. And pass. Yeah, do you wonder if Ouroboroid decks are better? Zealot's not what I wanted. We'll pass. Yeah. Need an untapped land. No such luck, though. Roots, attack for 1. Draw. Cub. Let's go Dredger's Insight. Yes for Cottage. Cottage and pass and pass. So we can go Cub, Cottage, Cub. Balemerk. There's Scoos. I imagine they pick up the Scoos. Yep. Roots. Plays Scoos. Another Balemerk. Another Insidious Root trigger. Draw. Passage. Okay, well this gets more interesting. So we can Cub on Cottage. Let's start there. Cub on Cottage. Multiversal Passage. We'll say for Forest. Shocked. Oh, I should have went for Swamp. Should have went for Swamp. Mm-hmm. You realizing they are my ways now. No. So let's instead do this. We're going to Balemerk. Grab Zealot. Trigger Insight. And we'll pass. Yeah, if I went Swamp, he would have been able to do that and Cub and had a ton more mana. I was not thinking. You'd pay a bit more attention to my mana there. There's Cub. Yeah, Cub Roots is pretty good, because now they can pretty much just dump their hand, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 mana's pretty decent. Omen. Well, that's unfortunate. Is an Ouroboroid? It is. Scoos. Shocking. So this is Jund. And honestly, they may just want that for the Scoos. Yeah, probably. Another Balemerk. The problem is they have Scoos up now, which kind of throws off my entire combo. Yeah, if I had played the second Badgermole card, we'd be in a much better position. 4 mana. Let's impend. Do you want to grab everything out of my yard beforehand with the Scoos? There's Beifong, but I'm not confident it's going to matter. Alright. Well, at this point, we can cast the Zealot. As long as they just hold up green mana for Skoos, they can just end my combo. Dalemerk triggers. Cub. Roots. Yep. Oh, I forgot that the roots grow, don't they? Whenever one or more creatures leave the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each. Yeah, that's pretty good. Feast. Mill 2 and destroy target chosen permanent if its value is less than equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, well, it's sorcery speed, just only downside. I mean, I can't do much about that. Yep. I'm pretty sure I die here. After Ouroboroid triggers. Pretty sure I die. Oh, roots? Oh, each plant. Ouroboroid's a plant. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. That's interesting. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Yes. Yeah, 1010%. Yeah, there is no stopping that. Interesting. Okay, well that gives me more thought. GG's. That does give me some more thoughts. Very interesting. So whenever one or more creature cards you leave your graveyard, put a +0/+1 plant. That's really good with Badger Mole. Balemerk. Dredger's Insight's good here. I wonder. Okay. There's more to think about with that. But that being said, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, we're back for match number 4 on the draw for game 1. Okay, so talent, draw, gulch, elf, pass, pass. What like an untapped lands? This looks like lessons again. Draw, elf. So in that case, I wonder if I want to wait on the cub. No, we'll go gulch. Things like Molt Tender can't generate mana next turn since I have nothing in yard. Play cub. Cub on gulch and pass. And pass. Next we can play cub on verge. Like we're generating a ton of mana, just we don't have much to do with it is the problem as it currently stands. Another talent. Boomerang basics on my elf. Why my elf? Take 8. Less than ideal. Dredger's Insight. Let's start with cub on verge. Tap for insight. There is Caller, though I think we take the Overlord, actually. And then Gulch, Elf, and Pass. We're not going to attack with the Cub, so I'll just attack with it now. We're not going to block, rather. Riddler, draw a card. Paying cost for Torch. That is 9 down to 2. Yes. Warp and draw. Another one. Let us start with another Cub. Cub on Gulch. I will cast Impended Overlord. There's Beifong. Also, Esper Origins. Esper Origins. Yard. Yard. Forest. Elf for elf, tender, and land, and pass. And pass. And that's fine. Boomerang basics. I'll block with... I guess I could actually block with an elf plus the origins. And that would get rid of the hero? Yeah. Draw. And there's the combo. So... black, 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 black. So this should be enough. So we go Bloodghast. Beifong. Molttender. The Elf. Zealot. And opponent scoops it up. Hey, look at that. Okay, so we definitely want my Fungus Triumph. Let's cut the Ice Tills, a Molttender, and 2 Elf. Do we want the Stabs? Potentially. I wonder if we could just shoehorn Ouroboroid into this deck and for it to be fine. I'll keep. And pass. Passage tapped. And draw. For a forest. Shock. For elf. And pass. We'll pass. Trainer. Torch. Draw. Insight. Yes. For Badgermole. Festering Gulch. And pass. You torch. Nope, you trainer. Hold up torch. Pyroclasm. 2 damage to each creature. That's kind of rude. Not gonna lie. Bitter Triumph. Passage. I suppose for a swamp. I don't know. Actually, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Because of the Pyroclasm, I don't want to feed into it. But I kind of need to bait them out somehow. So if I go swamp or forest, we do need double black. Swamp. And then go 1, 2, onto 3. Or I guess 1, 2. Yeah, okay. So yes. Forest. Swamp. Badger Mole. On Gulch. Earthbend. Interesting. They let that resolve. I wasn't expecting that. Black, green, green. We could go Zealot, but I think I'm going to go Sephiroth. I'm going to sacrifice the Gulch. Yield all. And we'll pass. And pass. Boomerang Basics. Pyroclasm. That's fine. Do you have another land for the torch? You do not. Draw. Another Badger Mole. Forest. Swamp. Festering Gulch. Swamp. Zealot. Combat. Attack of Sephiroth. Sacrifice the Gulch. Yield all. There's my play passage for a forest tapped. And pass and hold. Planisphere. Job select. Resolves. They could torch. I guess you can also sacrifice enchantment, can't you, for torch? Sacrifice enchantment or artifact, yeah. Torch. Zealot. Sacrifice Sephiroth. Bloodghast to Yar, which means we're just looking for Beifong. Yield all. And pass. Draw. Overlord. Let us play Overlord. I will grab Badger Mole. Play the Verge. Trigger Bloodghast. Trigger Dredger Insight. I'll cast the Cub. Gulch. And then I suppose attack with Bloodghast, question mark? No. We'll just play the Mai. And pass. No attacks. So they can theoretically play only 5 non-creatures and then they die. Otter. Finds a Ghost Vacuum, sure. So this is Thunder Magic hitting Mai. So he'll lose 2 life. I'll then sacrifice my Gulch to Yard. Yes, Gulch to Yard. There's Ghost Vacuum. So what I'm going to do now is I'll sacrifice the Bloodghast. Badgeable Cub to Yard. Sacrifice the Festering Gulch. Triggers. There's Sephiroth. We'll draw. Honestly, I think just sacrificing the Badgermole Cub is fine here. Force Swamp. Oh, actually, can I just win? I'm actually going to just say no. Bitter Triumph on the hero. And that should be lethal on board. Triggers Sephiroth. Opponent down to 5 and you win. Opponent had Opt, Trainer in hand. Alright. Well, solid win. We'll be back for match number 5. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Aggie Soul, Bloodghast. Huh. I'll keep. We're one off of the combo. Festering Gulch and pass. And pass. Stomping Ground tapped. And draw. Blooming Marsh, casting Bloodghast and pass. And pass. Sanctum. Draw. Go to combat. Attack with Bloodghast. This is Teamer Colors. Torch. Yeah, Torch is a pretty good card. Let's go with Forest tapped and hold. And seeing so much Torch does give me a bit of pause in the idea of a graveyard combo deck that seems relatively fragile to exile effects. Yeah. So that does definitely give me a bit of pause. Let's get rid of Torch and pass and draw. Tender. Let's cast Beifong and pass. Yeah, basically if you can play red, you should. We could theoretically splash for red, but we don't have much to give. Boomerang basics. Yep. For stock up, we'll just take Boomerang basics and pass. And draw. Cast Beifong. Cast Molt Tender. And pass. You have another Beifong next turn. There's Badgermole Cub. Badgermole Cub will Earthbend. The island, sure. Furnace. Hits Beifong. Beifong will go on to the Gulch. Storm Chaser's Talent. Phase change. In that case, I'll just eat your stock up. And draw. Cast another Beifong. Gulch. Go to combat. Attack with Gulch. Down to 14. And I suppose at this point, just pass. Enduring Vitality, yes. Enduring Vitality of Badgermole's pretty freaking good. So yeah, this is Teamer Otters. There's stock up. Yeah, Badgermole Cub, there's so many... I mean, green now just becomes such a good color to be in. Because you can generate so much raw mana off of Cub. Thankfully, the Cauldron does help with this matchup in a few different ways. Boomerang Basics targeting Furnace. Here comes Furnace to get rid of Beifong. No. Yes? Or not? Bonan's thinking hard here. Yeah. I guess the biggest problem that I have with this, I'm starting to realize that like the mid-range backup plan's very mid. It has one. Like the amount of torches, which clear the Zealot, which clear Bloodghast, and both of them being exiled are very relevant. I might pick Damien Del Nero's brain a little bit about that Junless they're playing. Yeah, then I just kind of go back to the drawing board and start brewing again. Alright, are we actually casting the Furnace? We are. Cool. Does it hit Beifong? It will hit Beifong. You have 5 in hand. Yes. Beifong on Festering Gulch. Stomping Ground tapped. Phase change. Go to end step. Let's mill a card. Landwar Elf. Let's eat the elf. Put a counter onto Molt Tender. And draw. Balemerk. I mean, I think I just cast Balemerk in full, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, if I hit Zealot and Bloodghast, I don't have a payoff though. Well, no, we do. We have the Gulch. Okay, so let's do this. Balemerk and Pend. Holy hell. Did we just do it? Beifong? Cast Beifong? Play a land. Bloodghast. Aggie Soul Cauldron Zealot. Put it onto Beifong. Sacrifice Bloodghast. Trigger Beifong. On Forest. Doesn't matter much. Always yield. Surveil. Well, let's put Sephiroth on top. We sacrifice Gulch. And opponent scoops it up. Okay. The fact that we had exactly what we needed was insane. Okay, so this is against Otters. To my understanding, what they can do is just basically loop the... Oh god, what's it called? Loop the thing that makes Otters. Make the Otters hasty, make them into mana dorks with Enduring Innocence. Looks like Mai would be good here. Insidious Fungus. Again, going down on mana dorks. Probably going to go down on Ice Till. Would Ghost Vacuum be correct? Would Intimidation Tactics be correct? Ugh. Let's go Ghost Vacuum. And let's... I guess is there also an idea of going Stab? Probably. Stab. Let's try this. I guess we could also maybe go down on Sephiroth, potentially. But mine definitely seems right. Because if I look at their list... Where's Otters? Teamer Floodcaller combo. I guess this is more Floodcaller, not Otters. Ral, Valley, yeah. Okay. Hand is okay-ish. We're missing lands is the problem. Molt Tender can help. And we'll keep it. We're gonna play the odds. 21 lands in deck. Molt Tender kind of helps. You can also turn one stab if we need. Rainbow tap, no stab needed. We draw. Forest is good. Blooming Marsh for Molt Tender. and pass, and pass. Green for analyze the pollen, search for a land. Basic land. Canal, passing, verge. I will play the verge. I will play the fungus. And I think at this point, I'm just going to hold up stab and give the ability of Molt Tender to mill. Again, we're looking for Bloodghast off the top now. Pyroclasm. I'll mill a card, regardless. Yep. Storm Chaser. We'll stab that now. And pass. And draw. Overlord. There's Bloodghast. Let's grab back Molt Tender. Or Fungus. Let's go Molt Tender. Play a land. Trigger the Bloodghast. Always yes, always yield. Play the Molt Tender and pass. Alright, we just need a payoff now. Enduring Instance? No, stock up. Okay. Holding up red for potentially another torch. You can play Beifong next turn. Beifong's a bit harder for them to deal with than the Caller. Blue, Storm Chaser, and draw. Badgermole Cub. So in that case... we can play Badgermole Cub Zealot. Let's go green, green, Badgermole Cub Marsh. I guess actually we can play Beifong. So let's generate black, get rid of Insight since we can't grab that back anyways. We'll play Beifong. Go to combat. If you want to block, no blocks, we'll pass. Goes this way next turn we can do some fun things of earthbending and with Zealot. We can generate a lot of mana, actually. So all we need now is Festering Gulch, Insight, or Sephiroth. Beifong at least gives us some protection in case of another Pyroclasm. Combat, I imagine no attacks. Second main. Really passing. A third Zealot. Alrighty. I suppose I will play Zealot. The Zealot land. Now, I do not have the combo kill. So what I can do here is I can sacrifice the Bloodghast. I guess actually, let's not do that first. Let's go to combat. I'm going to start there. We're going to attack the Bloodghast. Okay. I'm going to end step pass. And what we can do is we can instant speed surveil on their end step. They can bring back Pyroclasm, that's fine. Because we're just going to surveil a lot. Floodcaller. Non-creature spells as though they had flash. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap. That's a problem. We were holding up mana, so maybe they respect it, question mark? Yeah, and during Vitality, I think we just lose, right? But basically they will be risking getting blown out. I guess, does Enduring Vitality actually win them the game? Yes, it does. Non-creature spell, untap, so basically generate infinite mana. It doesn't look like they have it. End step, sacrifice the Bloodghast. Beifong on Verge. Non-creature spells as though they had flash. So I guess they could still Pyroclasm at instant speed. Do I care about that though? Opponent's gonna scoop it up. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I didn't have the win necessarily, but I was going to be able to dig pretty deep, right? Because you're going to surveil one. We're then going to be able to sacrifice a land, get back Bloodghast. I guess Esper Origins to Yard. Surveil 2. Setharoth. Then Setharoth gets us the win. So, I mean, yeah, pretty good there. I don't know. I don't know. Are cards like Torch the Tower? Can't I Infinite Surveil? Can I Infinite Surveil? With Beifong and Bloodghast? Oh, I guess, yeah, we can Infinite Surveil, can't we? Yeah, I guess that's true. I never thought about that for some reason. We can Infinite Surveil, but we don't have the win con. Yeah. So we Infinite Surveil, so if they don't win, then we just find what we need. Which I guess in that case, what we should probably just dig for was Festering Gulch and not Setharoth. We probably shouldn't have waited to Setharoth. We just went for Festering Gulch. Because then we can guarantee that it's not interactable. They can't counter it, I suppose. So yeah, we just have Infinite Mill. Infinite Surveil, which we did know about, just was not thinking about it. Alright. Well, in that case, maybe I should have, on my turn, maybe I shouldn't have held up mana. Maybe I should have tried to just dig for either Festering Gulch or Esper Origins. Because did I play a land my last turn? Hold up. You know what? I didn't. So you know what we should have done? Last turn, I should have surveilled infinitely and then we would have seen the Esper Origins. We then could have gone down into Festering Gulch, basically to surveil down to Festering Gulch. And then if Esper Origins flashbacked, we could have then drawn into Festering Gulch, which would have then allowed us to win. So we actually could have won a turn earlier. Yeah, I need to pay more attention to that. That even if we don't have a win condition, we can definitely dig for one, especially with Esper Origins. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. It allows us to, quote-unquote, draw into the land drop for turn. Yeah, that would have been smart. That would have been smart, but I missed that until just now. So, good call on that one. Good call on that one. All right, though. Well, another 3-2 record at the end of 5, so not bad there. I don't know. I am starting to question whether a creature combo deck that does rely on the yard is good in the current meta. Because there's a lot of cards like Torch the Tower, which can exile after resolution, or there's a lot of Ghost Vacuums in the format, there's Soul Guide Lanterns, there's Skoos. So with that in mind, I wonder if the combo part of it is a bit too cute right now. I don't know. Without having like a additional backup plan in the deck, which we could look into a bit more. We could look into Ouroboroid, even Main, as a potential option. Because we run basically the same concept as what we were seeing Damien Del Nero play, just with the added combo. So would adding Ouroboroid as a threat be worth it? Maybe. I'll have to look into that some more. But either ways, that there will be the end of today's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback be much appreciated, because I am very much still learning Standard, very much still learning this deck, so any and all feedback, very much appreciated. But if you have reached a point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you do want to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, you can find me there Sundays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, you can head over to my Patreon where you can find these videos early and ad-free. With that being said though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!